Hey y'all, and welcome back. Today I wanted to get you the 2024 predictions. Okay. I wanted to really try to connect to this energy, and I'm also going to be doing a collab with Adam. Okay, and that will be more centered around the astrology for 2024. But right now I really want to get you the predictions that I am channeling from my team of light, and it already feels like out the gate there is a ton of messages already coming through. I have gotten some crystals for you guys. So I got Snowflake Obsidian, which is interesting because I have specifically been getting these areas that are in the snow. Okay, that's what I'm seeing coming to the forefront. I keep seeing frozen over and over again. And it's these energies of these different cultures, okay, or different countries that are more ascended spiritually. They're vibrating at a higher vibration. And those are the countries that are going to be coming into the forefront because the other countries are not able to ascend. Okay. So I'm trying to check in with different energies. Obviously, I am in the USA. I keep trying to check in with the energies of our country. When you check in with the energies of our country, they're webbed in lies. And so we're not in an ascension vibration, our country right now. So what's going to happen is that in order for the country to ascend, they would have to unveil all of the lies and they would have to clear the karma. And there's a big mess. Okay. So that's what we're coming into 2024 is the karma of our country's past and what we have contributed to the energy of the world. And it feels like we are going through a form of judgment day. Okay. That's the energies that are coming through. So what happens is that we are going to see ourselves in a new light. And for some, that will be very hard. Okay. That's going to be very hard to see what they look like, okay, in this light, because it's going to be shining so freaking bright, and denial isn't there anymore. Denial doesn't really exist in these energies. You can't actually be in denial anymore. So it's harsh. It's a harsh reality. It's going to be a harsh reality for leaders. It's going to be a harsh reality for the people at the front, okay, the front line, because everything they foresaw or planned for themselves is not going to be aligning in this new earth energy. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit of a dance, and it feels like it is pretty dicey. It feels really dicey. So the other crystal I'm getting is aventurine, okay, green aventurine, and this symbolizes prosperity, abundance. But when I see aventurine, I think of green. I think of Mother Earth. I think of higher consciousness. I think of green. Okay, so green brings in the abundance. Green brings in that consciousness because there's no longer a collective that is supporting the dark agendas anymore. Okay, so what happens is that the money or the prosperity won't be supported under those agendas anymore. It's leaving those agendas. It's going into a different energy and vibration. So that's where the people who want to prosper would have to go. But you can't go there if you're not ascended. You're not consciously able to shift into those energies to do good because you are focused solely on me energies. You're solely focused on selfish greed, power. People will see the truth now. People will be exposed. Okay. People will see the truth of what is behind the money in this year. They will see how selfish they are. They will see the greed. They will realize that nobody in that higher circle has their back. They're going to realize that they are all just up for grabs. If you are trailing with the higher echelon of money, you will realize that you are just bait. You will realize that you are not a form of camaraderie in any way. You will realize that you guys are out for yourselves. Okay. It's going to be a very lonely place at the top. That's what it feels like. It feels like very lonely. It feels like there is not going to be a network or a joint energy anymore. It feels like they will be in their own energies and they will have to navigate their own energy fields and they will have to figure out their way out. It feels like very Elsa energy. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's like people are going to have to Elsa their way out of whatever they did. And if they can't figure that part out, they can't lean on anyone. They can't lean on anyone but themselves. And that's a new energy for a huge chunk of the population. That's what it feels like, a new complete energy. And it feels like, it's a 5 of Wands. I mean, that's the energy of 2024, 5 of Wands energy. I also was getting really, really strongly just opening. I was getting the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. But that to me is fate, destiny. Again, fate, destiny. Now, a lot of energies have come up in 2023 around these groups stealing people's energies, stealing people's destinies. This has been going on for lifetimes, centuries. Okay. This dates back, it's a long time, millenniums. Okay. This is like, whatever, it is really, really far back how long this has been going on for. This goes back to ancient Egypt. It's the same energies coming back up again. But the awareness of that is what is shifting, because light workers in 2024 are going to realize that the dark can no longer exist without the light, because they cannot survive. There is nothing supporting their energy anymore. And until they ascend on their own, they're not going to be able to reap any type of reward anymore. It's going to be very tumultuous, it feels like, for them. Okay. It feels very tumultuous. So I'm going to say that there has been a very dark illusion of what was going to happen. Okay. There's been a very dark illusion of what was going to prevail in the world. That illusion is breaking down, because darkness is illusion. It's a lower energy. It is a lower dimensional energy. So as we keep ascending, we're going to see through those illusions. And there's a lot of them. I can't help but see, I keep seeing military coming through. I'm seeing military that operates in the dark. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of military coming through that operates in the dark. And I cannot help but just see them as an eyesore. They are an eyesore for the world. Okay. And the other thing about these military people that I'm seeing is that it was done to them. Okay. So there's another component to everything. So there's a component to everything. So it's like, if there are people who are operating in the dark, it was because it was their job. Well, then who made it their job? Okay. Those people then have to be held accountable. They have to release their victims. So there's a whole component that has to go into this. Okay. Because we as a collective can no longer turn our backs on the dark either. We can't turn our backs and say, oh, well, they effed up. That's the path they chose. Not necessarily. They were in a place of doing what they were told to do. Okay. They were in a place where they had not, I don't know how to say it. We were not in a place where we were solely free. Okay. We were not solely free. We're still not solely free. Okay. And when I say soul, I'm talking about our souls. We're still not free. And in a lot of aspects, in many aspects. And so we're still working on freeing ourselves. And these are karmic cycles that we are releasing. So these people that are stuck, they're going to feel, it feels like a trapped energy of people. There is military that is trapped. That's what it feels like. Military that is trapped globally, and they cannot release themselves because of what they've had to do or endure as part of their task. That's what it kind of feels like. But then there's a component of who's doing that to them, and they have to free them in some way. So everything is a balance. Everything is ebb and flow, everything. So it's like, even our darkest dark, we're going to have to look at and go, how did that happen? Why did it happen like that? How do we release them? And how do we get them to get back to where they belong? Because nobody's on their path. If we go to these intense types of military groups, okay, or people that are working in the dark, okay, they don't have a choice about their realities. They don't have choices about their path. They don't have a choice of their destiny. Their destiny is taken from them. Everything is taken from them. And so what happens is then all their contracts are screwed up. Their contracts are screwed up. So as we're ascending, what happens to their contracts? What happens to their contracts? All the contracts that were planned for them or pre-planned for them by whoever, by their bosses or whoever it is, they start getting effed up. They get messed up. So we have 3 of Pentacles coming. We have divine contracts coming in here with union, 4 of Wands. Okay, this is the divine coming in. Their contracts are getting messed up. Now their bosses are going, why are your contracts getting messed up? You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Your plan is not working out. Well, their plan is not the plan of their boss. Their plan was predestined. They chose their life before they incarnated here. So now they have to go back to the grind and go, oh my God, who am I? What am I doing here? Am I on the right team? What happened to my path? And so there's going to be a lot of that going on. I keep seeing military. I'm talking like these are military families. These are generational military families. I'm feeling very strong US, but I'm seeing other countries. Like I'm seeing other countries in this. It's not, it's not just the US that is a part of this. This is generational military. This goes back to the Nazi regime, okay? It's the same thing. It's a generational group where they were bred in to be something they weren't, and they didn't know otherwise because their parents didn't know otherwise. It's like they couldn't tell the difference of what following their intuition was. They were not allowed to follow their intuition. That is something that is shifting right now. And now they have to see that through the eyes of other people who have stepped into their soul missions because they didn't have that upbringing. They didn't have an upbringing of the parents that were kind of over them all the time, stifling them. So it's a complete juxtaposition, but it's like, they're going to be like, why is she in my way? Why are you on my path? Who are you? And then they're going to be like, in 2024, they're going to be like, I think she's soul family. Oh my God. Was I supposed to be doing what she was doing my entire life? Oh my God. Like, it's like that kind of a thing where people are going to be like, what happened to my life? So that's the shift. It's going to be starting to go into the dark in 2024. It's going to go into the people who were not following their intuition, who were not consciously awoke in any way. Those people are going to start waking up now, and it's through the light of the light workers that are shining through. They're going to be like, oh my God, it's like an illumination, and it's going to be intense. Like they're not going to really be able to handle it. Like it's going to be like, what the hell did I do? What happened to me? It could be in the form of like I want to throw up when I'm doing this. It's like dark energies, man. Like it's like they're going to have to almost be reborn again in some way, and they are not going to, I don't know that they know how to figure it out. They're wrapped in the devil. They're stuck in the devil. They are stuck because everything they've known their entire life is aligned to the devil. So how do you free yourself from that? How do you free yourself from that when you're chained to the devil? You've literally done things that are so bad and now have this awakening that it was like not ever a part of your path at all. Ever. Okay. And like you didn't follow your mission and you were born into this family to freaking shake shit up and you didn't do anything. Okay. That's the energy for this year. All right. So it's like now we have to have Judgment Day. We have to have Judgment Day on such a grand scale. And these people are so used to clinging to what they know. They're so used to clinging to take what they want or their whole lives was taking from others without realizing it. Okay. And that's where the fates have to step in. I have the star coming through. The star is coming through so strong right now. So there's going to be a lot of people that are waking up, and this is what it's going to look like, dude. It's going to be a freaking tower shitstorm. It is going to be a tower shitstorm. And what guides them out is going to be the unexpected. It is not going to be anything they had planned for themselves at all. It's like everywhere they were looking is not the right direction. And now they got to look another, and they're stuck and they can't freaking find their way out. And like the way out isn't familiar to them, and they're confused and they're boxed in. And so it's going to be a very kind of like, it just feels like tumultuous type of energies in some form. Like it feels tumultuous in terms of, it just feels like a midlife crisis energy. You know what I mean? Like that's the energy that I'm seeing, and it's coming in for the masculines. It's coming in real strong for masculines, and it could come in strong for masculine female too. Okay. Females that fall more on the masculine end of things be coming in for them as well. But it feels like a rebirth type energy. So the Snowflake Obsidian talks a lot about past lives, and I feel that the past life is a gateway into the future. And through this understanding that past lives are actually real, which most religions tell you are not real, this is a big illumination for 2024, because a lot of people are going to start to realize that past lives are real and they are going through major karmic cycles, and they've gone through this before. And the only way out is by going back. Okay. So that's how they have to figure their way out. They have to go backwards to figure out the way out into the future. And like I said, it doesn't feel familiar. It's coming in as justice and a tower together. That's real rough energies. Justice and a tower. Justice and a tower coming through. The only way to justice is a freaking tower. Okay. Tower is breaking down everything that you've ever known. That is, everything you have ever known has to burn in order for the justice to come through. But justice is coming in. It doesn't matter. Justice will be here. It's coming through, but it's going to result in a freaking tower. It is breaking down everything you've ever known. Okay. So there is a big fear with these groups that have been practicing dark arts. Okay. There's a fear around them because they're having problems. They don't have any power anymore. They're losing power, and they're feeding off of the light in order to have power. And so there's a fear around that. I'm feeling this really strong fear. And the only way for them to get through this, oh my God, is the 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups coming through. I think the month of May is going to be powerful. This is the second 5 coming through. So I think there's going to be something pretty powerful around the May time period. I also want to say, in terms of the US, just messages I'm getting with the US, is that we're not an ascended country at all. Like we're kind of in the dinosaur era. So when I check in with the energies for our country, we're really on a very low vibration. Okay. Very, very low vibration in terms of how awoken we are, and in terms of how much we give. Okay. How much we give back. We're just not at a very high level of energy. Now, if we were to go and check in with every country's energy, and we were to actually like check in, the people that have the countries that have been in power the longest, those are the countries that are probably not going to be at a very high vibration. Okay. And so that's really where the shift is going to be coming in all of a sudden. But our country just feels like it's like 25%. Like that's what it feels like. And energetically, like it feels like we're at like 25%. And I'm not saying that 25% means anything other than the fact that we are so consciously asleep. We're going to be struggling. We're going to struggle. We're going to be struggling. That's what it feels like. Struggling energetically because of our karma and because of the lies that we have been embedded and entrapped in for so long. And it goes back to the Mayflower. I keep seeing the Mayflower. I don't know. So that's the time period that we're looking at. Okay. So it might be that we have to go back to the Mayflower time period to figure out why the hell we're in this trap position. But I think of the Mayflower, and that was like very elite people coming over with, with money and things. And then they take me to the Kentucky Derby. It's like, that's where it goes to. It goes, we come in on the Mayflower and we end up at the Kentucky Derby. And then it's like, what is that? The hotbed of our country? Is that the base of everything and where it began? But there's something around this kind of energy of, I'm going to America to take. I'm going to take from America because I already took too much from my own country. So I'm going to take now from this country. It's a taking energy. It's very much a taking energy. It's like, you think of the Derby, you think of the money. Okay. It's high rollers. Okay. Coming through, then it's taking me to Louisiana. Okay. And then it's taking me to the whole civilization there and what happened over in Louisiana. And I'm exhausted even just like talking about these energies because they're just like real heavy energies. But it's the extremes, okay? It's the extreme wealth, okay? That's what it is. And that's what the backbone of our country, and that has to be healed because the people coming over were takers. They're takers. They take. So when you keep taking, you take, you sell. What is left? There's nothing left anymore. There's nothing left. And so I feel like that's what's coming into the current reality, is that there's nothing left for us in some way. And so we would have to rebuild from scratch in order for us to to set the energies right in some way. And it just feels like, I don't know, there's something with the contracts and our government and our system. It almost has to be like redone in some way. Like, I don't even see, like, it's almost like we would join, I don't even know, like the US doesn't even feel like it would be a country by 2024. Doesn't that sound weird? That sounds weird, but like, it feels like we're not even a country. Like, energetically, we don't feel like a country. Okay. Energetically, we're not operating as a full country. And I'm not saying that we are a country with anybody else either. I don't even, like, it doesn't even feel like we're not operating. Like, we're not operating where we need to be energetically, because it's based on shit. There's nothing there to like support it. Okay. And I don't mean to be like dogging on my country, but I'm saying energetically, there is nothing supporting our country. And I'm not going to go into the other countries, but it's the same thing. Okay. It's the same freaking thing. It's the same. It might even be worse in other countries. Okay. So I think it's just, look, I have devil coming in. The ones that operate through devil they're on empty. They're on E. Okay. They're going on E into 2024. They're operating on E. And the countries that are consciously awoke and ascended are going to be climbing. Okay. They will continue to grow steadily, their economies and how they move forward. And the other countries are going to be freaking going down to like 1D. They're going to be like going to 1D. They're not even going to be in 3D. They're just dropping down. They're going to be dropping down because they have to go back to the past in order to rewrite the future. That's what it feels like. That's energetically what it feels like. Okay. So those are the energies for 2024. I'm going to go to the soul coaching deck coming through. Leadership. Yeah. Leadership's coming through. Has to be strong leadership coming through. Strong leadership. Leadership that is consciously awoke will move mountains. Okay. They will move mountains because they will be able to operate behind the veil and in all energy planes. And they will be the leaders. Okay. Those are going to be the ones, the leadership. The leadership has to be strong. It has to be strong. And that is strong in a whole other level. Okay. It is consciously strong. Those are going to be the leaders that go through wisdom coming through wisdom. Okay. Wisdom is coming through, and joy. That's all about the heart space, getting back to the heart space of what brings us joy. I think there's going to be a lot of that energy coming through. That's what brings us abundance and money, joy. So we have to be re-navigating how we assess joy and abundance. I think we're realizing that what once brought us joy no longer brings us joy. We have devil card coming through. Consumerism doesn't bring us joy anymore. Okay. That is something we are ascending now. We are ascending false light. We are ascending illusions and ideas of fame and status and monies. We are ascending those energies in 2024. Those no longer look the same to us energetically. We do not see them as the same. This kind of goes back to my new industries video. I was getting a lot of channeled messages around new industries. We would have to create new industries to bring in abundance and prosperity, because the old industries are going to just be falling. They're just going to keep falling because there's nothing energetically supporting them anymore. There is nothing energetically supporting them. So funny, a strength card in the world. And that's the stuff that people who have owned the world or have been in places where they have owned the world. This kind of goes back to the Barbie movie. I don't know if you guys saw the Barbie movie, but the Barbies were always in control. And they always called the shots. And then the Kens came in and then they shook it up. Okay. It's kind of the same energies. It's just reverse. It's the patriarchy, right? And being shaken up right now by this conscious feminine energy. And they are going about it in a way that is a dinosaur energy, where they're trying to just control and own the feminine. Well, we've already tried that already. We've gone through that how many lifetimes now? It doesn't work. It doesn't ever work. So now the feminines they're learning and they're getting stronger and they're growing. Okay. And so what's going to happen is now that energy of domination, it can't exist in a consciously awoke energy anymore. Domination energy doesn't exist. It has to be a coexistence, co-creation energy, communal energies. The countries that operate in communal energies, they will be the leaders. They are the leaders. They will be emerging as the leaders, and we will be following them. We will be following suit of those nations. And that is not a communist nation. It is socialist structure. It is a socialist structure of community. That's what is going to be prevailing. And they did a whole documentary on it. Okay, the happiest places to live on earth are socialist communities. Those are the happiest places to live. Why haven't we figured this out? Why do we buy into the freaking brainwashing of capitalism? Why do we buy into the brainwashing of fascist societies, telling people what they want, controlling people through devices and technology, and wondering why none of it ever works? I can't understand that, because there's so much research. We are in a time period where there is so much research, okay? There is so much information, right? About quantum physics. And yet we're still in a place where we're trying to control and own people. We're still in the dinosaur energies, but we have all this technology. We have all of this abundance of wealth telling us the complete opposite. And we're wondering why it's not fucking working. And that is part of the programming, okay? That's what it goes back to, is the programming of this generational military people, okay? It's this programming that is so outdated that needs to be broken down. And it feels like that's what's happening right now. That is what is happening. That is what is freaking bumpy as hell right now. That is the bump right now. So, I am seeing new leadership emerging in different groups, okay? And it's going to be different. And people are going to want a leader, okay? People are going to say, okay, all right, I see your point, all right? I see your point. I see your point, Amy, or I see your point, Joe, or I see your point, okay? I see it. But I will put you in this role to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to show everybody how to do it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to own you. No, we don't work for you anymore. You can't take an old paradigm and put new energies of leadership into it. It doesn't work. It breaks. It'll break. It breaks. It can't survive that paradigm. There is no ownership in a conscious paradigm anymore. There's no ownership. It doesn't work anymore. So this idea is like, okay, I see you. I respect you. Okay, you have power. We join team. We own the world. No, mother effer. No, we don't own the world. That doesn't exist in this paradigm, dude. So that's the stuff we have to ascend, okay? So whoever needed that message, they're going to get that freaking message right now, okay? It doesn't exist anymore. That idea is dinosaur. It's outdated. It doesn't work. It is a take energy. Nobody takes anymore. Because there's nothing left. There is nothing left. They took it all. That is where we are at. We are at ground zero. They took everything. They took it. Okay? So now we have to go back and we have to start over and rebuild. Okay? So that's where we're at. And I'm not giving any freaking spy messages. Okay? Just at ground zero. I am not making predictions about some stupid, end of the world war, whatever crap, because I don't see that. I don't fucking see that. I see people feeling like idiots. I feel like they're going to be like, I wasted billions of dollars on owning the world and I was fucking played by the universe. That's what I freaking see. That's what I see, okay? So that's where I stand right now, okay? Those are the energies that I see. And as I'm saying that, I see hope, okay, coming through. And people are not God, okay? They're not God. They are not God. They are not freaking God. They can't play God, okay? They can channel God. They can move like God. They can move like Jesus. They can move into those spaces. They can transcend the energies of negativity around them. Yeah, they can do that, but they can't play God. They can't play God. No more. You don't decide who gets to be with who. You don't get to decide what celebrities marry each other to bring in the freaking wealth to your family anymore, okay? You don't get your little lists, okay, of who's turning 16 and decide who your freaking son is going to go with, okay? Because their dad makes this much money, okay? That's the shit we're ascending. And I know that that stuff goes on. I seen it. I witnessed it. And that shit's coming to the light. Women are going to find out the truth. They're going to find out what happened with all of their freaking husbands' daddies and why they're married to who they're married in a lot of culture. And they're going to be fucking pissed. They're going to be pissed because they were sold. They were sold. Okay? And there's going to be a lot of that coming out. A lot of that is going to keep coming out because it is a blazing. Look, I'm getting lit up. It is a blazing. Okay? You know, in the Barbie movie, they were saying, you know, you don't do the patriarchy, or you do the patriarchy, Ken was saying. And then he said, oh, we do it quietly. We do it well quietly. That's right. It's been done quietly. That is coming to light. The secrets of the patriarchy are coming to light. The boys clubs that decided who's going to marry who gets whose daughter, blah, 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 blah. That shit is coming out. That is coming out. That is going to come to light in 2024. Guaranteed. I keep seeing these damn freaking lists. I see these lists marrying off the daughters, everything. I see that stuff. I see it now. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's coming out right now. That is coming out. All of how you are valuing people, valuing them for monetary money. We are humans. We are not monetary. Okay. We are humans. Okay. There is no dollar amount that you can put to a human. And the people who have done that, they are experiencing the wrath now. They will experience the wrath for putting a monetary value to a human. Okay? That's what they're going to, because we are omnipresent. We are all beings of God. We are all have abilities to be powerful. Every single one of us. But some of us from birth, our destinies were thwarted. Some of us were silenced our entire lives. And that's what's going to shift now. That is what is coming to the light. So I have protection coming in now for all of us, coming through. Protection for light beings, and happiness keeps coming up. So keep following suit, keep pushing forward, keep moving and transcending these dark energies of whatever is trying to own you, grab you, go near you. We must keep rising. But as we rise, as light workers rise, starseeds rise, we will have the dark surrounding us. They will be coming at us like wildfire because they can't freaking figure it out. Okay. But you're the light. You have to be the light, and you're going to shine on their freaking darkness. You're going to shine on it so bright that they will finally see what is truly going on. Okay. So that's what we're seeing right now for 2024. I'm excited to see what the astrology is looking like for 2024 because I don't know anything about that right now. But leadership just keeps coming up again. So it just feels like there is going to be a shift with leaders and how we move forward. And it's definitely a transition year for sure. So I will leave you guys there. If you guys are interested in a reading, you can go to my website at soulpath.me. I offer past life readings, and I will talk to you soon. All right. Bye.